All right. Romance Dawn. I think Romance Dawn gets a either C or B. What are we thinking? C or B? It's not getting. I think it's getting a high C too. Not too much crazy action. It's a really, it's a slow start to One Piece. We get Shanks. That's pretty much it. Orangetown. I think Orangetown is also a C. I'm gonna keep it real. I think Orangetown is also a C. I think Sierra Village, in my honest opinion, Sierra Village is a D, in my opinion. I mean, I'm going based off the anime. The animation was god awful. That fight against the dude with the long knives as hands, I forgot his name. That fight was mid. That fight was very, very mid. Orange Orangetown's ass as well, but I think Orangetown's a low C. Now, this is what evens out East Blue right here. T Works is where East Blue starts picking up. I give T a strong B. T is definitely a strong B. Great backstory. We finally feel some really good emotions when Sanji's saying he's leaving and Zeph cries. I was crying like a bitch. So I think I'm going to keep it at B. Now, Arlong Park, this is really what averages out East Blue to an A. I'm giving Arlong Park an A. I think I have to, yeah. We're going to save S tier for very special cases. I just don't want to be throwing out S's like I'm Oprah. So Arlong Park is a really strong A. Great fight against Arlong. When Luffy puts that straw hat on Nami's head, that's my scene where if you didn't like that scene in One Piece isn't for you. Whenever I get people to start watching One Piece, I don't tell them to watch the whole thing. I tell them watch till episode 36 when Luffy puts that straw hat on Nami's head. If you don't like it at that point, then just drop the show. Because in my opinion, that's one of the best moments of One Piece, and that's like that's a moment that really defines One Piece right there. Like it's the kind of anime you're about to get yourself into. Logtown, Rogue Town. We get Smoker. We get a good dragon scene. Oh, my bad, gangsta. 37. My fault. I want to give this the best C. I think this is the best C. I like Belmare pushing Nami out the door. Yeah, Arlong Park has a lot of good moments. Reverse Mountain. Is this where we get Laboon? It's not a long one. It's definitely not a long one. I think we give this a low B. I think we give this a low B, y'all. I think we got to give it a low B. It's only 2 episodes? Yeah, okay. But regardless of how long it is, it's still, if the 2 episodes are mid, then yeah, it was going to be like a D. But based off of like what we get, I think a low B. Whiskey Peak. I wasn't the biggest fan of Whiskey Peak. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. We're going to keep it at B. We're going to keep it at B. Whiskey Peak. I'm not the biggest fan of Whiskey Peak, y'all. I'm gonna keep it real. I think Whiskey Peak is gonna be in the C. I think Whiskey Peak is C. Solid B because Zoro did have a good moment in this, but like I said, actually, this is where we kind of learn about this is where we learn about Vivi and like her ship gets blown up at the end. I'm gonna give this high C. This is the highest C. Little Garden. We learned about the Giants, right? Hmm. Not gonna lie, I think this is a high C as well. Drum Island, low B. Is that what we? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, all right. So I think East Blue kind of averaged out to like a low B, high C based off of this. I don't want to give Arlong Park S. Yo, was good, Doge guy? What's up, my guy? How are you doing? But yeah, I think East Blue averaged out to a low B, high C. So this looks good so far. Alabasta. I think I'm gonna give Alabasta a B as well, but I'm gonna have it top a B. This is definitely the best B. We doing VV doing that fuck ass dance puts it at F, bro. That ain't even an F tier. But if we could cut out scenes from arcs and hand them F tiers, I would that would definitely be in the F tier. Jaya. I personally really like Jaya. We get that Blackbeard scene, and we get a really good manga panel out of Jaya. A man's dream has no end, never dies. Peak moments. I think this is a great setup to Skypiea. I'm gonna give it B. Albasta is peak, but keep in mind, Doge guy, we got a whole lot of peak left down here. So Albasta is peak, I know. Skypiea, it's gonna be top of A. Now, I think the information we get from Skypiea is massive. And like I said, Enel is like the first really serious fight the Straw Hats kind of have to gather together and beat. It wasn't just a one man show. Obviously, Luffy did do the final blows, but that's where we get Sanji saying, "I need another light." Yeah, it's got P. All right, see, listen, this is my opinion. It's my opinion. My opinion. But yeah, we get great information. This is the first villain that the Straw Hats really kind of have to rally up and do whatever it takes to beat. I think Crocodile versus Luffy was a bailout fight, in my opinion. What else is massive? I think Luffy versus Crocodile was a very bailed out fight. Like it just so happened that Luffy's has the water and he's spraying Crocodile. If you saw Crocodile in Marine Ford, that was not the same Crocodile that was in Alabasta. So I think that fight was kind of mid, which bumps it down in my opinion. But Skypiea, I think is A. Long Ring, Long Land. What do we think about Long Ring, Long Land, y'all? Because now we're getting a lot of lore in the manga. There's a lot of hidden gems in Long Ring, Long Land, but I don't think it makes the arc any better. So I think we're gonna have Long Ring, Long Land at bottom of D. If there was an F tier, it'd be an F. Water 7, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first S tier arc that we're seeing here. Water 7, Chef's Kiss, masterpiece, masterpiece right here. Usopp versus Luffy, peak fight. Was crying like a bitch. Sanji, lighten up the lighter. Bingo, peak moment. CP9, betraying the Straw Hats. Golden moments. The train ride to Ennie's lobby. Golden moments. Water 7 is S tier. Water 7 is a masterpiece. Ennie's lobby, the greatest arc of all time, in my opinion. Ennie's lobby is the greatest arc in One Piece. From the fights, from the emotion, from the backstory, everything. Ennie's lobby is the best arc. Gear 2, Gear 3, come on now. Luffy versus Lucci is my favorite fight in One Piece. Oh my god, bro. I'm having flashbacks. That's your opinion, honey buns, but I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion. Yeah, Ennie's lobby, best arc in One Piece, hands down. Thriller Bark. Hmm. Thriller Bark. Definitely, I think Thriller Bark gets a was good, bro. I think Thriller Bark gets a really bad rap because it follows Ennie's Lobby and Water 7. We're doing a tier list of all the One Piece arcs. I think Thriller Bark gets a really bad rap because it follows Water 7 and Ennie's Lobby. So we have such high expectations because those two arcs were such peak. We think it's just about to start going crazy. But this was a really slow arc compared to what happened. But we get the nothing happened moment. Arguably one of the best moments in One Piece right there. The middle of Thriller Bark was insanely slow. I wanted to rip my hair out. But the start and the end were beautiful. And Kuma, we finally get introduced to Kuma. I think Thriller Bark is a high B. I don't want to give it A yet. I think Thriller Bark's a high B. Zoro, Nothing Happened is definitely an S tier scene. But I think it's going to have to be high B for now. Oh, you skipped Thriller Bark? Damn, that is crazy. You got to go back and watch right now. You got to go back and watch. There's no skipping canon arcs around here. No skipping canon arcs around here. Sabaody. Sabaody. Archipelago. This is an S tier arc, y'all. Sabaody's S tier arc. I think it's better than Water 7. Sabaody is where, in One Piece, I think before Sabaody, the story of One Piece was kind of like a fairy tale. Like it just so happened that everything's working out in Luffy's way. He's not really facing any adversity, and we're watching One Piece and we're like, okay, we know he's gonna beat the bad guy. We know he's gonna somehow come over this. So like, because the show's 1,000 episodes long. Sabaody is the first arc where not everything is like a piece of cake for the Straw Hats. Like they this is where they start meeting some real ass people. And like it was a reality check. Like, yo, you guys gotta lock in right now. I mean, the crew gets wiped away. We meet the worst generation. We meet like the most goated characters outside of the Straw Hats in Sabaody. We see how fucked up the Celestial Dragons are. So I think this is an S tier. I got you, bro. Yeah. Sabaody is indeed S tier. Amazon Lily. Amazon Lily. I don't really have a great opinion on Amazon Lily. I think I was really intrigued with Amazon Lily because it's after Sabaody. So like I really want to know what the fuck just happened and like holy shit, how did the Straw Hats get back together? What's going on here? So I think it's a great follow-up from Sabaody. We get Boa Hancock, arguably the finest woman in anime history. I think I'm gonna give Amazon Lily a high A. I mean a high B. I'm gonna give it a high B. I appreciate that. High B, yeah. High B for sure. Impel Down. I think, in my opinion, Impel Down is one of my favorite arcs. Um, we meet Jinbei. Um, Great arc. We see the GOAT, Bon Clay. Great moment. Sad moment. I think I'm going to give Impel Down an A. I think I'm going to have it lowest of A, though, in my opinion. But it is an A. Definitely an A. Marineford. Now, is there much to say about Marineford? We know Marineford is going into S. Marineford's got to be S. Where do we put it at S is the question. I think Marineford is better than Sabaody, but I don't have it over Eddie's Lobby. But Marineford, I mean, we all know Marineford. Whitebeard goes out like a fucking legend. Ace dies. Blackbeard takes Whitebeard's fruit. Yeah, Marineford in terms of action, it's definitely fucking up there. Like this was like Marineford was like what all the One Piece fans were waiting for. Like we just from this or from the start of One Piece till Marineford, we saw so many characters, but they're all kind of scattered out throughout the One Piece world. We're kind of like, oh my god, they're never gonna face up. But I really wish we saw like how these characters would match up against each other, or how certain characters would interact with each other. And Marineford was like a dream arc to One Piece fans. Like we got all the characters we ever met in the show, basically, all together fighting like an all-out war. So Marineford is S, no questions asked. Now the time skip happens, and we get Return to Sabaody. I guess this is including. I don't know if this is including the training arc. Like, is this including Zoro going to Mihawk and all that stuff? But I think this was a great like bounce back from Marineford. If we're including everything that happens from Marineford to Return to Sabaody, like in between, I'm gonna give Return to Sabaody an A. And I'm gonna put it right here. Actually, I'm gonna put it right here. Fishman Island. Oh, the Dressrosa pacing is pretty cheeks. It's it's not insanely bad at the start. It's not insanely bad at the start, but towards the end, towards like the peak, the climax of the arc, it gets really repetitive. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna spoil, but it gets very repetitive. You'll find out what I mean by that. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Willie D? Fishman Island. Um, do we give Fishman a D, or is that just kind of being like overkill? Or we give Fishman a C? I think Fishman is better than all these arcs right here. I'm gonna give Fishman a high C. Actually, I'm gonna give Fishman a high C. I like it better than all these other arcs right here. And kind of when the speech at the end, how Fishman Island ends, I think is beautiful with Jinbei and Luffy. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a high C. Punk Hazard. Now, was Punk Hazard better than Fishman? Punk Hazard was also some mid. Oh, Dahime made you cry? Yeah, it was a really good story. Like what we learn about the Fishman and we learn about Fisher Tiger. There's some good stories in there. The villain fight versus Hordy wasn't anything crazy. I think Punk Hazard is gonna be. I'm gonna give Punk Hazard the lowest a B. It's right above Fishman. Rosa. I think yes, the pacing was bad, but we do get beautiful, crazy moments. Oh, we did meet Kinemon and Momonosuke and Punk Hazard, but I'm gonna leave that at B still. What do you rank ASL? That's like I think like an A. Dressrosa, I'm gonna give Dressrosa an A. I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna have it right behind Skypea. I'm gonna have it right behind Skypea. Zoe. I kind of liked Zoe. This is where Sanji, you know, this is where we kind of get into the story of Sanji and Whole Cake. This is where we get Momonosuke, Rizo safe. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna give Zoe high B. I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna give it actually the middle packet B. I'm gonna give it the middle packet B. It wasn't a long arc. Nothing too crazy happens. Jack gets fucked up, which is a great scene. Whole Cake Island. Now Whole Cake, I want to give Whole Cake a S, but I don't think I can. I think I give Whole Cake a high A. Luffy versus Katakuri was an amazing fight. That was an amazing fight. I'm gonna give it bottom S. I'm gonna give it bottom of S tier. Facts, fact. Oh my god, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Yeah, S, S. Oh, the Reverie arc. Fuck. The Reverie arc is up there. The, the Reverie arc. Let's just vote on it as a group. I think Reverie arc is high A. I think it's high A. What the fuck is Reverse Mountain doing up there? What are you talking about? Reverse Mountain was peak, bro. Syrup Village should have been higher. Yo, Jit Flask, I'm sorry. But Syrup Village was mid in my eyes. Yeah, Reverie is high A. But Wano, man, we know Wano's S. Arguably the most iconic moments in One Piece history with Gear 5. Probably the best fights in One Piece to this date. Nothing beats the big three fights. Great stories, great backstories. Odin's backstory, Odin's 20 episode backstory is better than 95% of animes out there. That backstory was better than majority of the animes I've seen alone. Is Wano the best arc in One Piece? Is the question, ladies and gentlemen. 3 years for one arc is crazy. The pacing wasn't that good. The start of it was kind of slow. Fishman Island is ass. Amazon Lily, I do have Amazon Lily over Thriller Bark. Dude, it was just too slow. I think it was just way too slow. The pacing on Amazon Lily was just better. But I think Wano is the best arc in One Piece. I think it is. Everything that makes it up. Like I just explained the big three fights, obviously Kaido, Luffy, Sanji, Queen, Zoro, King. But let's not forget about Law and Kid's story in Wano too. Let's not forget about Kanjuro's story and Odin's sister and um the fuck nigga the leader of Wano, Orochi, Kinemon, the backstories, Momonosuke turning into the prince or the leader of Wano he really is, Yamato, Kaido's backstory. I think is S tier. I think it's S tier. So this is my official One Piece arc tier list right here, y'all. Ranked in order from worst to the very best. And I think I wouldn't switch anything up. Two warlords plus a nothing happens scene over big boobs. You got a good point there. You got a good point there. You got a good point. But Thriller Bark was just insane. See, like Moria as a warlord, he was trash. I'm sorry. He was trash. And it was just too the middle of it was so mid. Plus new crewmate. Oh fuck, Brooke and his backstory. You got me, bro. Yeah, you got me. 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 We're gonna do another tier list.